Welcome. This is Leigh Ambergy, stampwithleigh.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mentor, Ohio, and thank you for joining me today. And today's card I want to share with you is one that we will be making in an upcoming class that I'm having. It's next week, and it features the waves of the ocean promotion, and this is the entire collection, but this page shows you the stamp set, the dies, designer series paper, foil, and the basic jewels. And this is an early release from the new annual catalog. These products are only available while supplies last. It's beautiful, beautiful designer series paper, foil, and the bling. Who doesn't love bling? So I'm going to be making a card using this new collection. And there is also a special. I am having a March PDF tutorial special that when you shop at my Stampin' Up! Online store, leigh.stampingup.net, and you have a $25 purchase before tax and shipping, and you use hostess code 3FR97EEK, you will receive a free PDF tutorial. It includes pictures, step-by-step directions, and March I featured the Artfully Composed Suite, those products. If you don't have the stamp set or dies or any of the products from this collection, you can easily substitute products that you do have. So again, this information is on the bottom of my blog. And also, I didn't bring the flyer. I thought I grabbed it, but I didn't. Is also during the month of March, the mini Stampin' Cut Emboss is, and this is it closed up, is on sale at 20% off. And there is also select bundles that are also 20% off. And also I will have that information at the bottom of my blog also. But for today's card, again, this is the card we're making, and it features the designer series paper, the waves of the ocean, and also a little bit on the inside. And I don't know if you can tell, but the background I used the Stripes and Splatters embossing folder. These are designed to fit in the mini to be used with that. And there's two. This is Splatters. It's kind of reminded me of like water. That's why I used it. And the other one is Stripes. Now for the basic white cardstock on here, this piece was a little bit too big to fit through the platform on here, so I did use my regular Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. But let's go ahead and get started. So I already have this embossed, and what I want to do now is I want to do the stamping. So we're going to stamp Pelican, who I've been calling Pete, and the Happy Birthday from that stamp set. And I used Early Espresso ink, and I just have one of my little, looks crooked, one of my little stamping spots. Let's see if that's straight. Well, it would be straight if I could not smear it. Let's try again and see. Yep, it's just me not stamping straight. But you know my philosophy, there are no mistakes in stamping, just creative ways to do things. Here we go. So that is stamped. We'll die cut that in a little bit. Get my stamp out of the way before I stick my fingers in it. And I'm going to ink up the Pelican. And he's on the pilings. And these dimensions will all be listed on my blog for this card. But basically, I just pulled out scraps, basic white scraps. As you can tell, a piece here is kind of chewed off. I just pulled out scraps for this stamping, because that's basically all we need. And the card is very, very simple to do. And here are my designer series paper pieces. This one is for the inside. And on this card, I used this side of my designer series paper, my Waves of the Ocean. But on today's card, I think I'm going to use this side. So I have my Coastal Cabana foil. Isn't that pretty? The foil. So that is already cut. And we're just going to apply our designer series paper to our foil pieces. I'm just going to use the adhesive of your choice. I just got a tape runner that I'm going to use. And get rid of that. Right, and we're going to apply this to our piece of foil. That's done. Oh, and my card base is 4 1/4 by 11 Coastal Cabana. I've scored that in half, 5 1/2. Burnish it with my bone folder, and then now I'm going to build my panel. And if you've watched any of my videos before, you know I always like to do what I call a dry run, where I just lay my pieces parts out. Okay. To make sure I like how they are, and then I assemble. And I do one at a time. Oh, and I forgot, the back of this foil paper is it's kind of coated, so you might have some issues. Let me see. You might have some issues with that. I prefer an adhesive that's a diamond dot pattern, and sometimes it doesn't want to stick. And I think all the ones I have, yep, are all diamond dot. So I'm going to pull out my Tombow liquid adhesive. And I was using this last night. I think there's... should still be... there we go. So I'll just pull out Tombow. And I do not want to get any of this liquid adhesive on the foil. It dries clear, but you will still be able to, it'll dull the surface. So just use my tweezers to pick that up. So if I don't have inky fingers, I end up with sticky fingers. So just to play it safe. Make sure I get any liquid glue away from my fingers. We'll put our last panel on here. Okay. Now we're going to die cut our happy birthday and Pete. And then this circle here, this is silver foil, and that is also in with the Blue Foils specialty pack. So make sure, I'm just going to go ahead and die cut my circle first. I think I can get my Pelican. So I knocked my card base off the counter. My Pelican and my greeting. I think I can get both of those stamped. So let's bring this in, and this shifted. So we'll move that back. Okay, and there is our circle. And then let's do our, let's see if we can get both of these on here. And the Pelican comes with a die that will pop out that image. And I am afraid that that is going to move on me. And I'm looking for some washi tape. I don't have any in my work area. So I'll just grab some purple tape and use that. If you think your dies are going to move on you, this is removable purple tape. It's still made. Stampin' Up doesn't carry that, but it's different colors now too. There's blue and green and red and everything else. So that would just hold that die in place. And this die is not with the waves layering dies. There is a die that will cut out greetings on this stamp set, but for my purpose for this card, it was too wide for me, so I pulled this die out from the all dressed up dies. I seem to like how that cut better. And I know I want to tuck on here. I know I want to tuck some of this underneath the piling. So I'm moving my die closer to where my happy is, closer to where my H is, so that I can have room to tuck that underneath that piling. Just to make sure. So you don't move. We'll use another piece of purple tape. Get our top plate on, engage, and run it through. It's gonna snap, crackle, and pop. Move that out of the way. Pop out our greeting, and we'll get, well, I don't want to end up throwing my die away. I've done that before. Rummage through the garbage. So there's Pete. And now all we need to do is assemble our card. So I'm going to put my basic white layer onto my card base. That's centered as best it can. Some days are more of a struggle than others. Okay, and then on here, Pete is popped up. I don't know if you can see, he is popped up with dimensionals, and I've used the mini. You really don't need the mini down there. Let's see if I have any regular ones. Yeah, but I do want the mini dimensionals for Pete up here. I think, did I cut one? No, that's a whole one. I think I did cut one. Well, you know what? Instead of cutting that one, we'll just snip off a little sliver. And you can do that. This area all around your dimensionals, you know, this is where there are still dimensionals. Don't throw that away. Snip it and use it for other projects. Just snip it to the size you want. So there we go. I think I'm going to add this one here. And now I feel a little bit more confident with the larger dimensionals here. Just didn't want any of that to be sticking off. So we've got that. And this is going to have that coating on the back again. So I just might as well use my Tombow on that. And again, I don't want any sticky fingers. Put this kind of in the lower right. It's no mistakes, it's wherever you want to put it. Now this, because this is on dimensionals and I have this flat, I need to make sure that when I put this down, that I can tuck in, you know, this part. So again, dry fit what I want, figure out where I want Pete to go. I kind of like Pete there. And then I know should be okay. There we go. That's where I want, that in a sense is where I want my greeting. Just to make sure. Pete back. Slide that underneath. Can remove the backings. Release paper from my dimensionals. And we'll attach Pete right there. And this is for the inside of the card. So it's just a piece of basic white cardstock and another piece of our design series paper. I'm going to see if I can use my marks on my grid paper so I can hopefully be semi-straight when I put this down, but yeah, there's no guarantees with me. Not too bad. And we're just going to put this on the inside of our card. Okay, and then the finishing touch, all we need to do is add some of the Rhinestone Wave jewels. And these are in, what are the colors? Coastal Cabana, Night of Navy. Thought that I had some more here on my desk, but I guess I don't. Oh, it's right here on my ordering. The jewels are Coastal Cabana, Night of Navy, and Pacific Point. I always want to forget the Pacific Point, but that's okay. And just add these, you know, wherever you want. I think we're going to add another one. Go ahead and add one on this. One on this side. So there we go. That's today's card. I hope you've enjoyed it. And again, it is using the products from the new Waves of the Ocean collection. And you could start ordering that March 1st. It goes to May 2nd. And again, only while supplies last for these items. And don't forget, I have my March ordering special. And again, all the information, all of the dimensions for this card, products used, are listed at the bottom of my blog. So I hope you have enjoyed today's card. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Bye.